Welcome to Beyond Cyberdrome. I'm sorry I haven't a robot. And we haven't. Honest. This contest is being held in what we are reliably told is the historic town of Chester. Chester's history goes back a long time and seems to have entirely consisted of baiting the Welsh. However, a brief century or so in which the Romans annoyed everybody else gave the town its distinctive name, which means town. According to Wikipedia, it is still legal to shoot a Welshman with an arrow, although this is not a legal basis for murder. But, having inquired at reception, David reliably tells me that you have to be 100% certain that this is 100% Welsh, or you could get into some trouble, which I thought was kind of reception, but they're very helpful, very useful. Chester relies largely upon its historical buildings for its tourist trade and its hysterical teenagers for its culture. And the city's motto, for your information, is Antiqui collant antiquum dierum. And there may be a prize at the end for somebody who can tell me what that means. I do know what it means.
You don't want to know.
It's really boring. It's really boring, but David in reception now knows, so do go and ask him. He's very nice. Since 1969, the city has protected its historic buildings, though the proposed replacement of the council offices has caused outrage as they intend to replace it with a structure which has been dubbed the Glassy Slug. And now, before we all fall asleep and the bar closes, it's time to introduce our teams and teams.
You're supposed to draw more of a parallel between draw a glassy slug and us.
You are the Glassy Slug?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm just a quarter of them.
Half of our team on the right here is SMUS, or SMS.
Yes, or text message.
Or text message, as I wrote down here earlier. On my left we have Ian Watson and Ken Shin. And on my right we will hopefully very soon also have Chris O'Shea. It's his birthday, he's getting older, he's getting forgetful.
Should we sing happy birthday to him?
I think we should sing happy birthday
No, I think
when he comes in a robotic way. We do have
another song you can sing.
We do have another song which you can all join in with later.
If you'd like. No.
No, it's even worse than that. Okay. Before we all fall asleep, let's start with round one, which conveniently calls itself Desert Moon Robots, or Desert Moon Robots if you spelled it wrongly. In this, we ask the teams to imagine that they're stranded on a desolate moon. We are to assume, it says here, that they have water and air, probably toilet facilities and food. And we ask them to describe which fictional robot they would like to be stranded on their desert moon with.
Well, it depends if you do have food or don't have food. I mean, if you have...
You can have food.
Yeah, I know, but does it come in cans or does it grow there? And are there little things that hop around with fur on them that you're able to... Okay, this is an ecology.
Yes.
Now, if it's a moon which has air, then it's obviously going around a gas giant. It's got to be a big moon. And gas giants all have gas whales in them of higher intelligence. So it's possible that this moon is a trap or a prison, or it's an innocent ecological habitat. So I was torn between having a liquid metal terminator slaved affectionately to me for protection and whatever I could transform its silver metal into, or going for the ethical thing, which I think we ought to remember nowadays with carbon debts and food miles, and preserve this. A place which has little hopping fluffy things and stuff. Yeah, so I'm going to take one of the little robots from Silent Running, I think Huey, and I'm going to feel very, very smug about this. And I promise not to abuse it robotophilically.
Let's not even go there. Thank you. Ken.
Well, I only wish I shared your lofty ideals, sir. I'm afraid that if I were stranded on such a desolate moon, the choices would be, again, one of two, really. For pure practicality and survival, it would have to be a robot that could provide me shelter, refined foods as opposed to what you'd find there. Comfortable seats, nice bedding, and an unlimited supply of alcohol. So on that basis, I would go for Robbie the Robot from Forbidden Planet because it makes to synthesize much booze from a very small amount.
Would 60 gallons be sufficient?
Yes, that would be very nice to go on with. And on the other hand, though, Robbie was a bit of an ugly brute for all his charms. So the other choice I'd go for would be somewhat more aesthetic, which would be Chameleon, the shape-changing robot from Doctor Who. Now, on the basis that Chameleon can assume the shape of any person that you so desire. Now, this does not necessarily mean anything sordid. I would choose Chameleon for the purpose of intellectual conversations with Isaac Newton or Samuel Coleridge. I would walk and discuss philosophy with Bertrand Russell. And, of course, there'd also be knocking opportunities, but that's kind of sordid and we'll skip over that.
Yes, thank you. Both got minus points there. Buzz, who will you choose on your desert island?
Right,
you do have food. You do have toilet facilities.
Right, well, I think I'm just very frightened by robots, really. I've had a lot of run-ins with technology, and I just know that whatever I do on any kind of desert island, whether it's a gas giant moon or whatever, it's going to end up with the robot stalking me. Or worse still, crashing. And then I'm going to have to try and pretend that I'm somebody technical, and that's not going to work. So really what I want is a fairly innocuous, cheerful sort of robot that that does something with food, really, because I'm going to get bored with doing that. I'd also like a robot that's good company, and in my experience that means a robot that laughs at my jokes. So a robot that thinks that humans are funny and produces food, and it's smaller than me, not particularly bright, but gives that impression. I think it's got to be a smash robot. Because it's also got nostalgia value.
Does it smash as in all mad?
And then they smash them all to bits. Because really, I mean, or possibly a robotic Chris O'Shea, but we don't want to think about that.
Do with one at the moment.
I could do with one right now, but this isn't really. Well, perhaps this is this gas giant moon, and this is all the terrible trap as described by Ian, and it involved me being embarrassed by not being Chris O'Shea, and that's pretty awful, really, being embarrassed by not being Chris O'Shea. So yeah, that's the smash robot. I don't think I can go wrong with them, really.
Can I ask a question?
Apart from the singing voices.
Why have you provided toilet facilities? Is this to prevent the microbes, which we would discharge from evolving into a higher form of life a few million years later, which would compete with the local ecology?
It was sheer feminine practicality. Plus the fact that you did actually mention it in the what we will loosely call the rehearsal, that it may be a glassy thing around the moon, in which case won't things come back at you?
Well, look, I mean, all ecology is a closed system. The toilets, really.
Yes, yes. No, I couldn't. You may not have toilet paper, but I couldn't.
Well, sand's perfectly all right. And
Well,
water.
it's a desert. Okay, good. I think it's time we moved on.
Put robots in their
Using
place.
the word moved advisedly.
Moving, not even thinking.
I like the image that we have to have robots which can't be used as toilets. I mean, that's never really good.
You could, but your smash one, because they've got that little.
No, that's just a barbecue thing.
Super loo.
I will point out at this juncture that we have a scoreboard.
This is a massive laser display board.
Very, very, very technologically advanced. We'll be referring to it soon. I think that without our dear friend Chris, we shall move swiftly on to the second round, which is called Pick Up Robot, in which we play a popular contemporary song and one of the team members sings along with it. At some point the music will be turned down and sadly the team member will be asked to continue to sing.
Does anybody else want to be in this team?
Could we have a round with anyone?
Tony Keane would be good. I'm sure I could explain the rules to him.
Ian Waits is a good singer.
No, he's not. No.
Well, yes. Come along now.
Come and be Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Watson.
Please.
Thank you so much.
Just think of yourself as Chris Bell's evil son. Chris O'Shea's evil robot machine.
I've already been Joe Fletcher once this week. Thank you. Come on, give us a break.
Right, now we can give you better than that, we can give you lyric sheets.
Oh, God.
Well,
You haven't read the word yet. Sorry? Say that.
Okay, as I was explaining, when the
Fine,
music
love.
stops, your panelists will continue, hopefully. If they come within a nanite crotchet of the music when it is restored to us, then they will be awarded points. And it says on my script here, and points means prizes. To audience, what do points mean? Prizes! Really fantastic, thank you. In this case, points don't mean anything at all.
Lyrics and that.
So, are we ready?
Nope.
You're not ready.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not
Let's
ready.
start with
I'm
something
looking
else.
for the other copy of the lyrics I gave to Chris.
Ian is going to start us off. Ian will sing along to the HAL 9000's rendition of Daisy, Daisy.
Hey, great, well done.
Right.
I tried you admirably, I really did. Really believed it was you, Chris.
He picked up a lot of prize. He picked up a lot of points. Do you have your lyrics?
No. I've never given them.
You memorised them.
He knows them. We'll sing it to last. Okay. Right. While they're doing that, we'll concentrate on the slides who are here and maybe with the word.
Three copies of it.
Do we have music?
My instructor was Mr. Langley, and he taught me to sing a song. If you'd like to hear it, I can sing it for you.
Yes, I'd like to hear that. Sing it for me.
It's called Daisy. Daisy. If you're
All together! Just for women! Encore! Good morning, Dr. Calasandra. Would you like to hear a song?
So what happened to the rest of the song?
Why was I not rescued? We don't play all of it. We don't play all of it.
Right.
We fitted it up, but he tried to wait.
How's it going? Okay, well that was
I just gave him lots of points.
lots of points for that. Well done.
I've admirably demonstrated the need for a toilet on an alien planet.
Or a six bag. Now,
Yeah.
Ken is now going to sing along to Marvin, I Love You.
Yay!
Well, that's the problem, because that's where the lyrics run out.
I don't believe it's called Pick Up Mimes.
It is tech, isn't it? Right, so it's back. That's what happens when you put computers in charge, you see. They cut it off. I'm not going to win on mine, I can tell you.
They might have got their act together by then, there.
No, there's obviously...
Thank you.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Very impressive.
Chris,
That was great.
Me?
it's you.
It's me.
You're going
It's
to
you.
sing I'm Gonna Spend Christmas with a Dalek.
Which I heard for the first time today.
I'm gonna spend my Christmas with a Dalek and hug him underneath the mistletoe. And if he's very nice, I'll feed him sugar spice and hang a Christmas stocking from his big left toe. And when we both get up on Christmas morning, I'll kiss him on his chromium-plated head and take him in to say hi to Mum and frighten Daddy out of his bed. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas. They're not allowed to write them like that anymore.
They never were.
Can I just...
Finally,
Yay!
it's going to sing to us Paranoid Android.
Why?
Because we can work
Can we all join in?
Yeah.
Paranoid, I'm trying to get some rest. From all the unborn
Chicken voices in my head. What's that? I may be paranoid, but no android. What's that? I may be paranoid, but no android. Are we there yet? Are we nearly there yet? When I am king, you will be first against the wall, with your opinion, which is of no consequence at all. What's that? I may be paranoid, but no android. What's
plug out.
Is it finished?
I may be paranoid. Are they finished?
Thank you.
It's going to get louder now. Right.
Now,
Well,
as a special treat, are we doing the special treat?
do we get points?
Yes, you get them in a minute.
Oh, good.
And what's your points, mate?
No, we're not doing it. There aren't any prizes.
Oh.
We have now a special treat for the audience because you are now going to sing along to I Love You, Miss Robot.
Thank you.
It is quite small.
It's legible.
Or make up the words.
Oh, no, though. We've had more fun than we're allowed so far.
Only make the font bigger.
In fact, I think over the
Make it
panel
bigger.
can read it.
So I think we all have.
We changed the screen resolution.
No, I don't do that. I'll never work.
Select all formats.
Font. Select, yeah.
Font. Do we know a particularly large font?
Well,
What is a free-for-all?
stop it.
Format menu, then click font. That's the one.
Yep.
Robots. Who needs them?
Okay.
We do.
And then make the window bigger.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Could you do it in braille?
How it is?
I can't hear you.
Point on this side to the dancing.
Dancing, yes. Yes. Lucky you got them.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
We win.
Monkey.
We have the robettes.
That's enough of that.
Excellent. Give yourselves a round of applause.
You've all been very silly.
Oh, what's
Move it on, Bristol.
Moving very, very quickly on before we start. Now, another round. This time,
Hey!
just a robot.
Speaking to this machine
I am
for help.
speaking into it, it's working. Just a robot. I am going to give a subject to a team member on which they will talk for a minute. Now, it is approximately a minute because we have a confusion of things here to minutes.
It's an
to this.
international dateline that's really mucking things up just about here. It's the Welsh's fault, you
It's
know.
the Welsh.
Welsh,
If
bloody
we
Welsh.
find them, we'll shoot them with an arrow. It's okay.
Yeah.
So, just
After
a
having
robot.
asked them for their date of birth.
Yes,
Just a robot.
yes, mistress.
Yeah, exactly. Be good. You're going to talk for a minute without hesitation, deviation, repetition, or tedium.
No.
Yes, I've made it.
No
Ian.
deviation?
No deviation.
I'm
no
leaving.
hesitation. Ian, please speak to me for a minute. Quickly, hurry up. On humans don't understand us.
I was brought to this forest by my mummy in her car with a great big wheel, and she put me out of the door under the leaves and said, "Piss off, tick-tock." This made me unhappy, so I called after her, her name, Monica.
To hers.
Fair enough.
Called after her name.
Carry on.
But I'll allow you to carry on because.
Carry on.
0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0. For God's sake, it's not me.
Deviation.
Yes. Carry on.
Seriously.
Humans don't understand us.
Humans don't understand us. You can repeat the words on the card, so humans don't understand us. That helps to use up some of the time in this game, because not being human, they don't understand me.
Excuse me, repetition, human.
Yes, it's on the card.
Sorry.
And of course, the time is still ticking past while we're doing this, since you're not allowed to do
Thank you. 10. The model they replaced me with.
The model they replaced me with is absolutely rubbish. I was a superior machine, and they replaced me with this thing, nice shiny gaskets, it's got a wonderful fuel sum, but other than that, it can't do anything at all. Its calculation is completely shot, it's not half as pretty as me, it can't exterminate anything as well as I do. In short,
not small words.
There's not little words.
well, in short, it's a complete mess, and I don't see why I was replaced by this overblown heap of gasket-blown piece of rubbish.
Did you say gasket before?
Indeed I did.
You did. Repetition, thank you. Carry on.
What's the subject?
The model
Model they replaced me with.
The model they replaced me with was gorgeous, tall and blonde, with interesting eyes, wonderful hips, and a waist that just didn't happen. It was really nice, and she had beautiful... Yes, go on.
You're too nice.
I am.
Carry on.
Do you usually interrupt your partner in this game?
Anyone
Every
can.
man for himself. You can interrupt yourself if you really wanted to.
Yes, they... I think I embroidered that 2 weeks
Are you
ago.
going to finish it? Have you still got 3 seconds?
It's working so far.
Just read what's on the card, quickly.
Yes!
Okay, good. Thank goodness that's finished. Chris, you will
Me?
speak, yes please, 1 minute on my motherboard-in-law.
My motherboard-in-law, she came on a bus. It was the S100, you may know it. It had many peripherals and had bits hanging off all over. But my mother-in-law, what can I say? When she sat around the bus, she was really all around that.
2 buses.
2 buses.
Correct.
Thank you. Carry on.
2 arounds as well.
My mother was always extremely bored when she came to stay with me, but the law compelled her to do this because she had abandoned myself at an early age. I was called by social services before.
I'm told there's repetition.
Repetition to the previous one.
Have you never heard of trilogies?
That's what we're trying to stop.
Isn't that where authors just use the same stuff again and hope to get paid 3 times for the same work?
Okay, carry on with it. Here. Go on.
The administration. I was adding gutturals.
Carry on.
Being Welsh.
Carry on.
You can't get more deviant than that. Where are we?
Can't keep interrupting.
My mother is...
Hesitation.
Right.
You know, I honestly, I don't know why I agreed to do this.
Deviation.
Well, you are going to speak for 1 minute on when the robot revolution comes. You can sing if you wish.
When the revolution comes, which will be done by robots,
We have far too many hesitations and spaces, not even filled with gasping.
He was waiting for the laughs.
yeah, that's true actually.
And they
It's
didn't
not worked
come.
so far. I've got to stop doing that.
You can obtain a book from W.H. Smith's which advises you about what to do should this dire event ever occur. For example, by putting gigantic elastic bands between buildings so that when the cybernetic entities trundle down the strasses of Germany or down the avenues of England and attempt to attack, they will be repelled according to Newtonian laws of equal action and reaction.
He's pausing between each of the words.
Would you like to finish it?
Certainly.
Carry on.
They went out into the forest where the leaves, they abandoned me from the car.
Carry on with what? Then we get a new topic.
I think we better go to a new round now.
Yay,
Would you
a new
like
topic.
it? A new topic. A new round.
Well, you've got more.
Would you? We've got more. Okay.
No, it's
Ian,
not funny. Move
yes,
on.
Ian, one more. We'll do one more quick. We'll have half a minute.
Just the minute.
Ian, what's Fairhead 2 saying?
Well, I'm really depressed, been stuck in the north of England with me only me head upon a shelf and unable to be attached to a body so that I can go out when I hear the cry of away the lads, which the other robotic entities declaim every Saturday night.
Hey,
Wow.
what's so artificial about intelligence?
No.
Artificial intelligence and artificial versus organic intelligence, then you have to look at examples.
Oh, sorry, 2 marks against me.
2 marks?
Yes. I will not even explain why.
Then you have to look at the example of a pig, an animal in nature that is capable of trotting along, snouting for truffles, oinking, doing all sorts of things, and compare that to a pork pie, an artificial creation.
You said artificial already.
Oh, it's on the card.
On the card.
Yes? Got a point?
Not a point.
2 seconds.
Anyway, so the pork pie in this case.
Pork pie.
Repetition.
Yeah.
Chris, the fools replaced me with Hoover parts.
The fools replaced me with Hoover parts, and that sucks. I was working on my computer the other day, which was a Mac, and what can I say? It's the electro-luxury model, of course. the hose, you should have seen, stretched down both legs, just about model again. Well, we're back to that.
Too much. Far too much information.
Oh, dear.
So, Asimov's 3 laws. Half a minute.
I can't possibly talk about that without hesitation, without repetition, can I really? Right, where do I start?
Asimov's first
Okay.
law.
Asimov's 3 laws. The first law of Isaac Asimov's delightful series of prerequisites for robot existence is pretty much a very tedious assumption about the way a robot should presume to carry out its life. It's
Robot repetition, carry on, please.
repetition.
oh, there isn't a word robot really, is there? No.
Are completely essential to many science fictional yarns, not least those of the eponymous author, who, from his name you can judge, is Russian, and he must have been to write so many books, otherwise possibly...
Oh.
Thank you. I think we'll move swiftly on.
Yeah.
On scoreboard for those who are interested. We will add them up later.
Yeah.
Good, isn't it?
Yes, cool.
Purple. That's pretty good.
Yeah, where's the letter?
There are letters. The next round is called Magnetron Crescent. Cheers! Magnetron Crescent. I'd like to point out that we'll be playing the NAND logic gate rule, and following the 1946 Bletchley Park variation, we will be requiring that negative feedback is only applicable when the information shower is diffused. And if that means anything to you, please tell me afterwards. So, we're going to start with Ian. Magnetron Crescent.
Well, obelisk unit.
Obelisk.
Where?
Obelisk unit.
Obelisk unit.
Right. Can I just ask, which phase are we on?
This is...
2 or 3?
Why isn't this in colour? This is on the grey and dark grey line.
That's not a phase, that's a line.
2 to the left from Calvin's shunt.
Right,
I think
okay.
we should move off Calvin.
Could we? I think I'm going to play safe. Can I go for Scion Cube, please?
Well, since it's the double straddling rule, the 19... What year was it, the rule?
Double straddling. No, we're not straddling.
Okay,
The rules,
no straddling, in which case 7
No
transistors.
straddling.
7 transistors. That was sound.
I would say you need a balanced subroutine.
Yes,
7
balanced
transistors.
subroutine, certainly, yes.
If we-
Balanced subroutine for that.
Hold on, there. So,
Come on, just come on.
they try and take something over there.
Hesitation.
We demand a Turing test.
we never got to use maps in my day, you know.
Yeah, we had to memorise
We
it.
used to push our ones across Salisbury Plain and wait for the zeros to arrive.
In that case, you might be keen on the hamster wheel. Somewhere here.
Yes. Well, certainly hesitation. Please, come along now.
Right.
The transistor pinwheel is the obvious thing.
Yeah, in that case, excellent, good. Guiding monad.
Is this with reverse polarity or without?
Well, obviously it's without reverse polarity. We couldn't do it without reverse polarity, could we?
South K-Pop Town.
You're making that up.
That's South Capek Town. Sorry.
Yes, it's looking a bit glassy-eyed.
I think you need the Hammerstein inhibitor.
The Hammerstein inhibitor.
The Hammerstein inhibitor.
Are they allowed to do that?
Yes, but you can go from there to E-Ring Broadway.
To who?
E-Ring Bondway, it says here, but it's actually E-Ring Broadway. You can't tell.
That's the E-ring, yeah.
Yes.
No, they're expecting us to do that.
That's true.
Can we go for Eingen State? Would that be okay? Eingen State EST?
Yes.
Eingen State EST. We can nudge them towards the polarity density.
It's very funny if you could actually see these maps, really.
Try and close your eyes. The Magnum are on the radio.
See, it's up there. Just read it off yourself.
Bypassing the floppy runtime. Yes.
Yeah. That skips Gall synthesizer as well.
They're trying to edge.
There's been enough sex in this
There's a
show
photonic
already.
written around there as well.
That's not really very good, is it?
Yes.
No.
It's in colour, exactly.
Well, you tell us about the colours.
Right,
We'll tell you what names they are.
Right, so where are you at the moment?
Right. If
Well, we were just
quick,
we're just near the fractal dump. We're heading towards.
go pick one.
Pick one. Pick one.
Yeah, go on.
You can't just pick one. No, I mean no. God,
If you go
no.
there-
Anodes.
Is it me next?
No.
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 We're a team. Hasn't he told you?
I think you're meant to be working together.
Are we?
Yeah.
Not the original game.
I've been backing you up every inch of the way.
Backing up? What's that?
Right, I want you both to
Where's the
move a
big-
bit quicker.
Yeah.
Yes, I know what we're doing.
Womble.
Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Well, go to Unitrons.
Yes, we're going
Unitron! Unitron! They said Unitron! We went through we went through the seven transistors, we went through that, didn't
They're
go
doing the Kurt maneuver.
Magnetron!
We've got to check
Magnetron. Magnetron present. Yeah. Let's do that.
10
Excellent.
points for ending it.
Well done,
thank you.
Moving again, quickly.
We never thought you thought of that.
Yes.
Amazing. Right, where was it?
They just got tired. Okay. We're going to continue now.
Apparently we're going to continue.
Now,
Is this on the USB Docklands Railway?
look, 10 minutes. Now, it's time for another round, and this next round is called Psychotic Question Time.
Or is it?
Or is
Or
it?
is it?
In
It's up to
this,
you.
we are inviting questions of a gardening nature from you, the audience, and our teams will attempt to solve them. And I did not write this.
Can I change into my Wellingtons
You may.
and
You're wearing
brocade
your
dressing gown?
Yes, well done.
You're asking the audience questions?
Yes, please,
Is it
gardening.
all right to spank your triffid?
Is it all right to spank your triffid?
Can I ask exactly how tall is this triffid?
Very.
Have you brought a cutting with you?
You brought
I
a
tried
cutting.
to, but it tried to beat me on the way here.
Fair enough.
Right. I think what you've probably got there really, south facing.
Yes.
That's what you've been doing.
And it's a chalky soil, yes?
Chalky soil. Well, really,
Well, robot flower Jew, what do you think?
I'm of the opinion that really, quite honestly, triffids at this particular time of year are very likely to be awkward. For a start, they're difficult to pronounce, and they're far more expensive because they're most of them being brought in from Kenya at the moment. And I think, really, quite honestly, you've been sold a pup. It's not a triffid at all.
But can I spank it?
No, it's a pup.
Fair enough,
You
thank
can
you.
lash it.
Oh, that's
Lashing, yes.
Lashing.
The RSP will have to be onto you.
It understands lashing because of its sting.
Yes, I grew some from a cutting in my potting shed, and I can say that the lashing was very good.
lashing to, yeah.
Thank
Lashing.
you. I think we better move on
Lashings
to
and triffids.
another question. Yes, please.
I've been given a very small potted tree of life. Can you tell me how I should look after it?
How should she look after a very small
Very small.
potted tree of life?
Well, of course, crassula is traditionally known as the money plant. So basically, I would suggest investment. The so-called leaves are in fact tokens. Now, you can optimize your fortune by going to the nearest friendly, quite intelligent machine, which you will find in a pub. It will have large flashing signs and will say the word jackpot on top. And you must put each of the so-called leaves, which are tokens, into a slot and then play a little tune.
Any particular tune?
Yeah.
Can I ask, is this the variegated tree of life?
Yes, it's got sort of yellow.
Yes, the lignum vitae implausibum, yes? Well,
Right,
I find that keeping it in a dark cellar, locking the door and running away is the best way of looking after it.
Thank you. And any other words of wisdom?
If
I think
all else fails, cover it in mulch.
Yes, that's good.
Yep.
Yes, rub it with wintergreen and hold it under attack.
Thank you. Speaking green.
With the continuing Southern Water hosepipe ban, I am going to convert my garden to a dune-themed ecosystem, and I was wondering if you have any advice on that.
Any advice on the June?
I definitely get an outside contraption for that.
Yes. Well, what you need is a good
What you need-
compost heap.
no.
And with lots of worms in it. Big worms.
No, you-
really, lots of big worms.
Well, that's certainly one viewpoint. And that may have worked for the last 7,000 years. But I think really what you really need to do is to look into somebody will just come in and take care of it for you, because I mean you want to get an expert in, because otherwise you've got a tremendous trouble with Fremen. And if you've got Fremen in your garden,
You have another
you can lose every bit of sugar.
I do have a spice rack.
Yes, okay. Now go to your spice rack and take out some of the spice, and go near to this arid wasteland and start sprinkling spice in little pockets. And then you will find that miniature euphonauts called Harkonnens will land by night.
Thank you. Does that help?
That's very helpful.
There was somebody here.
Oh, yes. I have an evil aspidistra in my hallway. The only way I can escape is by leaving it sandwiches to distract it. What kind of sandwich would you suggest?
Okay, evil aspidistra, what?
A tongue sandwich.
Tongue? Any other?
Mothering home.
I tend to use ciabatta myself, because a good ciabatta sandwich makes the aspidistras
What
much
would you
happier.
put in the middle of your...
Another sandwich. It is to get peckish.
Frankfurters make very good sandwiches. And that's just like.
So which two was that, sorry?
Frankfurters, they're very good. Very good sandwiches. They're well known.
Yeah.
The computers know, you know.
We have time for one more question.
Sure.
Oh God, there's too many. Yes, exactly.
Does the team think?
No.
Next question.
My friend Adam's got this tree and this woman, and he's having a lot of trouble with the fruit.
Is there a snake involved?
If he's going after the women, he's not got trouble with fruit.
Yeah, well, this has been happening, you know, for never. I think really what you've got to do is you've got to look at your mate Adam and ask if he's just talking rubbish.
I find that a good rib goes very well with applesauce, so what he should do is make the apples first.
Yep.
Yeah, you must not remove his apple, because otherwise how will you distinguish him from Eve?
True.
We'll tell you later, or we can go to the website.
I do not have sexual organs. I am a robot.
I do not Adam and Eve it.
God.
Okay, I think we've covered the garden. Thank you very much.
We've covered the garden with
garden
glory.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. We
Yeah.
do have another
Rich.
item, but I think before we get on to that, we will add up the scores. I did miss a few, but we've got roughly 12 on this side. And 16 on this side.
We didn't work for that.
I would like to explain the ones. We did have a -1 here for the fluffy aspect of the Huey thing, and one for perversion. I think that may have come into earlier on. And we had added points on this side for desolation with an individual panel member to start with, one for the beautiful
Yeah, I've never recovered since, actually.
and one for our original panel member finally arriving, and an extra one for you for bravery for singing.
That wasn't singing. Was
No,
it? No.
but it was brave.
That was them.
We have one more item for you before we finish, and you'll be so glad you'll be let out by then.
Yeah. Okay, we've got the key.
At this point, actually, we were supposed to be saying this is where our beautiful Futura was leaving us. She was our lady with the scoreboard and the bit, but she didn't turn up either. So, we'll leave that bit. So while we pretend that she is leaving us, I'm going to ask the teams for their suggestions for late entries for the Roboticist Ball. Please.
Right. What do we put?
Late entries, you have some, I know you have some, Ian.
Well, it's the musical robot Rhythm, and his second generation version, named after a favourite politician, Al Gore Rhythm.
Excellent. He was bound to turn up sooner or later. The sneaking oily in, a very humble Ignatius Obadiah Bay, in his golden, skin-tight gimp suit with nicely oiled little articulations and little tightly biced in. He's doing his butler moves. He's very into sub-dom. He's asked us very humbly if we would just call him I Obey. Oh, he's given us a card. with a personal request. Yeah, he seems that his tits-in vice mistress hasn't been firm enough with him, so he's looking for a affirmative mistress.
Affirmative mistress?
Apparently.
Affirmative mistress?
I understand he's feeling a little tweaky.
Yes, can we welcome the Berman family and their son, Cy Berman?
Yes, very nice. Ken?
Oh, dear. Well, and I'd just like to say, well, I'd like to welcome a wonderful gentleman, a great mathematician. Mr. Later, you've doubtless heard of him, Mr. Calvin Quentin Later, or his friends, Calculator.
Now, a great moment of honour for the ball now, as we have a state visit from the Plateau of Barada. Nicholas II. So, all please rise for Plateau Barada Nick 2.
Yes. And there's also... and his assistant, Hugh Wrist-Tick.
Yay! Can we welcome Isambard Robert, or I Robert as he's known to his friends, and he's brought along Dickie Bird, so that's Robert as an umpire.
And umpire.
Oh, and
the rest of the robots.
And the rest of the Roberts as well, yes.
Oh joy, they put that ghastly, loud, modern music on.
I'd say, is that Robert dancing to it?
I'm afraid so. I think he's trying to trance dance, but he's terribly arthritic.
Right. And can we welcome...
He was formerly a terribly good trance dancer.
Was he?
Ah, yes, Transformers, Roberts in disguise.
Oh! And can we welcome Mr. Bennett, the film I, Robot Was Nothing Like the Book, and his son, Gordon Bennett. Film I, Robot Was Nothing Like the Book.
Thank you. I think on that note...
Oh, no, we haven't
begun to scratch.
We haven't got the Bring Me the Positronic Brain of Alfredo Garcia.
But you finished the sheet.
No, we
have not begun to get the funny ones.
We've got a joke in here somewhere.
Find it quick.
No.
No.
So,
just go on.
I will read what I have here because it's so awful I think you should hear it. And now, as the floppy disk of promise is ejected into the skip of obsolescence before we realise that we hadn't backed it up on the CD of caution, I would like to thank the team, the poor unfortunate Chris and Smurf, who won. And Ian and Ken, who almost won.
Yay! And Robinson.
Thank you, Serena.
Sorry, that's the end for this year. Thank goodness. Good night. Go to the bar.
Thank you.
Thank you.